Welcome back. Now we're going to kick it on over to our on-the-spot correspondents, Gabe and Tim, who are reviewing The Dark Knight.
Hey everybody, I'm Gabe.
And I'm Tim, and today we're going to be reviewing The Dark Knight.
Let's take a look at that trailer.
Where do we begin? A year ago, these cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened?
So what are you proposing?
It's simple. Kill the Batman. Here's my card.
Bruce, this is Harvey Dent.
Rachel's told me everything about you.
I certainly hope not. You once told me that we'd be together. Did you mean it?
Bruce, don't make me your only hope for a normal life.
You're Alfred, right?
That's right, sir.
Any psychotic ex-boyfriends I should be aware of?
Oh, you have no idea.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
I've seen now what would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
And here we go. This city deserves a better class of criminal. I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Will you be wanting the back putt, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.
So, Tim, The Dark Knight. I would say the greatest superhero movie ever made and one of the top 10 best films ever made. What does this movie mean to you?
Oh, this is, I mean, I agree with you 100%. Fantastic movie. Arguably the best superhero movie of all time, and yeah, easily a top 10 for me. This was the movie in 2008 that got me into superhero movies, because like it also came out around the same time as Iron Man, which is another good one that I contribute to my love for superhero movies. But The Dark Knight was like the first like superhero movie that like it's not even it's a dramatic movie with superhero elements in it. And it's like that is what really pulled me into it and really got me to love the character of Batman, but also for me to love superheroes on the whole. So it's like that kind of first gateway for me into the superhero movie genre, and then also just into like more movies on the whole, because that movie just is, there's so many different elements to it that just make it so entertaining for me.
Yeah, I love how grounded Christopher Nolan keeps this film. I remember watching Batman Begins and thinking, I am not crazy about Batman Begins. There were things about it that I don't love.
Okay.
The Dark Knight, I dare you to find a flaw with that movie. I think it has an impeccable score, impeccable cinematography, and amazing writing. And just this theme that, you know, he's not the hero they need, but the hero they deserve. And just these ideas of morality that Christopher Nolan presents in this film. It's a face-melting movie. Like, you watch it, and you know that you've seen greatness. Like, it is an intangible part of American culture now, this film. I think it's more than a superhero movie. I think it's a morality tale. It's very Shakespearean in its discussion of tragic heroes. It's everything I need from a Batman movie, and yet there's still the moments where I'm this like 10-year-old little boy watching Batman beat up people. And so there's also that catharsis and connection to these larger than life characters, and that's all I need from a film like this. And so this satiates the pretentious part of me that loves cinema. It satiates the part of me that just longs to reconnect with my youth. It's everything that I've ever needed in a film, and it's in my top 3 easily, not even a question.
Yep, it's number 2 for me, and I agree. The theme of him being that hero that they deserve, but not the one they need right now. Like, that is a theme that usually when I go to the movies, I love a theme if it's like, if I can get behind it. Some of these movies are a little confusing, a little muddled in like what they're trying to get in the message. That message is clear as day, and throughout the whole film you can see that elements of it just drive the story forward. And another thing that helps drive that story like so well is the actors and the actresses. Everybody brings their best to the table in this film. There's no one who's lacking. Everybody knows these characters, and they've taken their own spin on them, but they still have that core element that makes them those comic book characters that we know. Aaron Eckhart, great as Two-Face. A fantastic transition. Gary Oldman, favorite Commissioner Gordon to date.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Christian Bale as Batman. He knows what he's doing, and he has that dark, gritty element to him. And, of course, Heath Ledger as the Joker is one of the best performances in general of all time.
Now, I'm going to say, someone that you didn't mention, who I think is very underappreciated when people discuss this movie, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Rachel. Everyone knows the scene, the Harvey, it's going to be okay scene, where, Joker lays his trap to destroy Harvey Dent. You cannot tell me that you aren't emotionally devastated during that scene. And it ends with the explosion and Batman standing there in the dust, in the ashes, standing there in the remnants of a destruction that maybe he helped cause. And so her performance is so visceral, and it's just an improvement over, there was a decision to change actresses from Batman Begins. Very good decision to be made, because a lot of times I think people forget just how good she is in this movie. And she's the catharsis that moves the story from Batman becoming this savior to a wanted criminal. And I don't love Dark Knight Rises. I have some thoughts on it, but when you just view Dark Knight as its own singular film, which kind of is the approach I like to take from it, because like I said, don't love Begins, don't love Rises. You just see this story of a man who has to watch as everything he loves is destroyed in the pursuit of something else that he loves, which is justice, fairness, and his city being safe.
It's a heavy film, and it just deals with those themes and ideas so well, I think.
Yeah, and
so, I mean, go ahead, no.
No, I was going to say, in the heaviness, there's still these amazing moments. We see him where he's like, well, I own the restaurant, so it'll be no problem if we move these tables over.
Yep.
And so Nolan knows how to walk that line, and he does it with just the brilliance that makes this man one of the best directors working right now.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah. So we've both said plenty of great things about this movie. I mean, I have a wild guess, but Gabe, what's your review?
1. No, I'm kidding. It's a 10. It is one of the greatest movies ever made.
Absolutely. 10 out of 10. It's easy for me. I know I'm a little harsh sometimes, but this is just a fantastic film.
I was going to say, you're a very hard grader. And so if something gets a 10 out of 10 from you, I would dare say, The Dark Knight is a masterpiece. And I dare people to challenge that.
I would agree. Yeah. All right, well, that's going to be it from us. Now back to the studio.
That's all for this week. If you want to follow more Review Crew content, go to the Review Crew Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as Orange TV Network on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube.
Find the Review Q's podcast on Spotify or on our website at orangetvnetwork.syr.edu, where you can also find our blog and more OTN information.
Check out this week's screening hosted by University Union, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. Also, be sure to check out Friday Night Movie Night on OTN. This week's movies are Cyrano de Bergerac, Royal Wedding, and Superman 03, 04, and 05.
See you next week.